Hello, Jerry McKeever here again to discuss Benocracy, the subject of my book, Benocracy, Democracy, Last Chance. Perhaps this should have been my third video. The first video covered the introduction to Benocracy. The second covered where we might find our candidates. This is probably the most important video. This video concerns global warming. Of course, global warming is the most clear and present danger that we face. George Orwell's 1984 suggests an incredibly bleak future. Now, I don't want to think that we're going there. I don't want to believe that, however avaricious or malevolent some of our governments are, that they could be so uncaring that they could send us to George Orwell world. Now, I realise that I can be quite repetitive, but to me, this suggests a consistency to the concept of Benocracy. I believe Benocracy has a real shape. From a theoretical point of view, I don't see a flaw in the strategy. In effect, for me, all roads lead to Rome. Diagnose all that is wrong, politically, societally, and climatically, and I believe that Benocracy will leave us in the future in a far better position than the MOs of most current administrations. So diagnose our problems, and I can't see a better treatment. Prescription, we find our best to govern us. We find the intelligent humanitarian among us, and I know they're out there. Some countries currently are being run under a type of kleptocracy or chimocracy. This really has to stop. George Monbiot, the UK activist on global warming, came out with a real nugget when he said, "The world ends with the exceptionalism of special interests." He was suggesting, of course, that lobbying really has to stop. Lobbying, which is legal in America, which is ambiguously legal or legal in other countries around the world, really has to stop. Recently, the BBC ran a great documentary called Oil Against the World. It told us how oil companies, but in particular ExxonMobil, knew the damage that global warming would do, knew it probably ahead of everyone else, and lobbied vigorously in their own interests, against our interests, against the planet's interest, to further their own cause. This really has to stop. One of Benocracy's aim is to be a think tank. Good ideas, bad ideas, naive ideas, all should be welcome. I would love to think that if we can form groups, those groups are half a dozen, 10, 20, larger, ultimately, hopefully, that the group ethos will be, we leave our egos at the door and all ideas are welcome, no matter how good, bad, indifferent, naive they are. In that vein, here's my idea to help counter global warming. I acknowledge that it's probably quite naive. I acknowledge that economists will probably shoot it down immediately, but perhaps from this idea a better one might come. So whatever credibility I built up over the last while following these videos, I may just throw it to window now because you can say naive. But anyway, here goes. I would love to think that in the not too distant future, possibly at Davos, especially if we can elect Benocratic governments, interested parties, interested governments, and really everyone should be interested because we're discussing global warming. We'll get together with banks, IMF, World Bank, other interested parties, corporations, to decide that we must create more money in the world, be it 5%, 10% extra money. And all this money must go towards green energy. All this money should be shared to partaking countries to increase the efficacy of their green efforts. Now, This could work on so many levels. Number one, it'll hopefully get us closer to our goal of zero carbon emissions. Number two, it'll create work. There is obviously the primary objective of creating labour, creating work and income. But secondary to this, there's a massive pension crisis developing all over the world. Many countries by 2030 even will face situations where for every person collecting a pension, there are 4 people working. By 2040, you're probably looking at maybe 3 people working for every person receiving a pension. And this will exponentially get worse as life expectancy grows and grows. This is going to create a massive tax burden on the employed, probably unsustainable. Any country that has got a large source, a great source of green energy, will also become a very attractive country for corporations to move into, creating more employment again, creating more affluence. In my opinion, unfortunately, the damage that global warming will do over the next 10 to 15 years is, in a sense, locked in. What we do today, this year, may not really influence what we have to face in 5 years' time. But we have to think of our children, grandchildren. If we act now, 2035, 2040, 2050, will not be as climatically dystopian as it otherwise will be. In my opinion, and it's probably not in my opinion, it's probably a fact, and I don't like hyperbole, I don't like people being dogmatic, but I think it's a fact that global warming is the greatest existential crisis we've probably ever faced. It is our dinosaur meteor moment. We have to raise the challenge. We really have to raise the challenge. Examine the words existential. It challenges our very existence. Our extinction is probably guaranteed ultimately if we don't do something about it. Now is the time. I am aware, of course, that I'm probably preaching the converted. If you're watching this video, you've probably watched a few of my other videos. You may be on my wavelength. Hopefully you are. Hopefully there's plenty of you. But I think we really have to get these videos out there, get the message out there. Got to do something about this. Got to do something about this very fast. I watched Ricky Gervais's comic drama Afterlife. I think it's an amazing program. Recommended. Where he gets his emotional intelligence from, I don't know. It's very well written. Penelope Walton's character in one of the episodes came out with a Greek proverb. Societies grow great when old men plant trees, the shade of which they know they will never sit in. This is a core ethos of Benocracy. These old men and not so old men and women are out there. I know they're out there. Many of them may have considered helping out politically, getting involved in political theatre. Many of them are my target benevolent Benocratic candidates because many of them are probably working with charities and good causes and activism. If these people know that in their next constituencies, next states, in every state in their country, every constituency in the country, there's someone like them running for office, and that their efforts will reap benefits, their efforts can lead to a party being in charge who want to fix things for us, who want to act on our behalf. If they feel that their efforts can lead them there, many of them will stand, many of them will raise the challenge. Please help me find them. Please help me present this vehicle to them. That vehicle is Benocracy. Please subscribe to my videos and share the videos and read the book and pass the book on, and please form the groups that are necessary. Really, there's nothing to be lost out of doing this. You're going to meet good people. You're going to meet people who are on your wavelength. It's going to be interesting It's going to be an interesting ride, at least, Worst case scenario, if it fails, at least you can say you tried. At least you can say you tried, and that's very important. Please remember, fail we may, sail we must. Help me out here. Thank you very much for listening to me, for indulging me. All the best. Good luck. Bye-bye.